articulate things? You know, did you stand up? How do you present yourself? Are you standing tall? Those are all those first impressions that Nicole was talking about when you went around and introduced yourselves. All right. Establish and maintain effective working relationships. I think that's pretty much standard in any job that you're going to be looking at. And that's what I'm saying, is this job description, so much of it is so vague. And it's open to interpretation. The point is, how do you apply your skills, your knowledge, your abilities to this? Because I think this was a $40,000 job.
Yes.
Yeah.
The city.
Yeah. And as we go through this, I'm sure there's not many things here that, you know, all you guys say, hey, that doesn't make sense. All right. Police radios. Everyone in the Army at least talked on the radio. Right? So you understand the phonetic alphabet, you understand having to push to talk. You know, most people do.
I can't say he's here.
No.
You know, you understand that, hey, if something's not going right, let me do a quick troubleshoot. Let me make sure this cable's tight. Let me make sure it's on. Let me make sure the battery works. All right? All those things are applicable. All right, minimum qualifications. 1 year of full-time code enforcement related experience. What's the key term in there?
1 year.
Full time.
Related experience. How do you relate it? You know, just because, I mean, this is for a code enforcement officer. That doesn't mean that the only person who can apply for this has had this job for a year already. No. Otherwise, they're not going to get anyone to apply. Or related experience. Think about the things that you've done. You know, did you, once again, it's taking it back to the construction of the forklift, OSHA, did you enforce those things? Maybe you were not necessarily a code enforcement officer, but whether or not the company got shut down depended on you, right? You're still enforcing those codes, and definitely in the military you did that. Next slide. All right, possess or obtain, hire, and this is just for this job, Colorado driver's license. That's not necessarily a skill, but that's something that they're looking for because you have to have it for this job. That is probably something I would write in my cover letter. Not just on a resume, probably not on a resume at all, but I would definitely write that on the cover letter. As I look through those minimum qualifications, I'm gonna make sure that I tell them in the cover letter that I've got all those. Why?
Because otherwise it just goes in the school.
Exactly. If you show them, I've got the minimum qualifications, that forces them to look at your resume. And then they get to, you know, that's like saying, hey, of course I can do this. I'm showing you right here, I've done it all. There is no reason why they shouldn't be going to your resume after seeing you meet the minimum qualifications in your cover letter. Right? Next slide. All right, preferred qualifications, investigations, inspections, and enforcement. We've really hit up all those throughout this time already. That's the three that they have. That's the three that I'm sure any E5 transitioning out of the military would have as well. And as we talked about these things, I'm sure you figured out how some of these civilian jobs you've had since then also correlate to that. All right, additional information. Yada, yada, yada. Work is performed in office field environment with travel from site to site. All right, those are the things, and it's just redundancy. This is nothing new. Travel from site to site. All right, they asked you if you had a Colorado driver's license. Work is performed in an office and field environment. That tells you that if you're trying to highlight one of your accomplishments in your resume, you should probably, because there's not a specific skill it's going to, hey, what did you do in an office? What did you do that, once again, we're going to streamline the process? Did you add a checklist to something that then increased the accuracy by 75%? All right, that's office work. That's office work that, although it didn't look at those first things we talked about, it's right there in additional information. That's what I mean by reading the entire job description and tailoring your resume to it. All right, not intended to include complete listings of all responsibilities. What does that mean?
It means that there's other things that will be included in the job that they're not saying.
It means that if you're applying for a code enforcement officer, you might have to take out the trash too. All right? Flexibility, adaptability. All right? You know, here we're a nonprofit. There's only 15 on the staff here. So, you know, we do a lot of the things that are not necessarily associated with, you know, helping veterans get jobs. We might have to, you know, move furniture. We might have to do whatever is needed by the organization. That's what they're referring to. Now, that's when you got to look at some of those things that are outside of your normal duty scope that you are still able to accomplish. Because once again, it's showing that adaptability. It's showing how you can do those things. Next slide. All right, so 2-minute drill. Well, hello, I'm glad somebody's paying attention. All right, 2-minute drill. So what I want you guys to do is, any of you, look at this entire job description and come up with 1-star statement. 1-star statement, something that says that's applicable, all right? That ensures that it's something you did and you translated what you did to make it applicable for this job. And I'm gonna go around the room and ask everyone what their statement is. And I got it, you may not be able to relate to everything on this paper, but I'm sure you can relate to something. I'm sure you can relate to one of your skills from a previous position to this job description.